Starting from birth, almost everyone loses flexibility. While most 6-year-olds can still touch their toes easily, the majority of 12-year-olds cannot anymore. Resisting this shrinking process, who would? It requires stretching, hard work, and discipline, doesn't it?
Okay, now I will show you 3 shorter routines you can do like every day in the morning or in the evening. It just takes a couple of minutes, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, as long as you wish, to lengthen your hamstrings without stretching. These are Feldenkrais exercises. So the question is maybe, why would you want to lengthen the hamstrings? If you don't want to do this, it's not the right place for you. And second, why without stretching? Because first of all, it is very cool that you can actually lengthen your hamstrings without stretching. That it is possible. That's super cool, and I really love this idea. Second, I do not like stretching, because in stretching you pull on tight muscles that are already tight, that are already short, and you pull on them, and you want to lengthen them, and it doesn't work so well. So there's so many different types of stretching, because everyone is trying to find a way not to find a way to stretch it without stretching, or to stretch it and stretch it a little bit, and it's tight and you pull it. I don't like the philosophy behind stretching at all. So it's very cool you can actually do it without stretching. And there's 3 little routines. One is in lying supine, one is in side lying, and one is in standing. So in standing you can do it just like any time during the day. I will start with the supine lying on your back. So that's how it works. You just need a yoga mat or you need a firm surface. You cannot do it in bed. It's impossible to do it in bed. You have to come out of your bed on the floor. Have a floor somewhere. Love the floor. So you start like the active knee extension test. One leg is along your pelvis. So what is a pelvic tilt? So this is a good question. This is a forward tilt of your pelvis. So you tilt your pelvis forward so your pubic bone, the tailbone, comes closer to the floor. And there's a little arch in the back. So this is a bit of a science how to do a real good pelvic tilt. But basically it's when your pelvis tilts forward, is forward tilt. If it tilts backward, is a backward tilt. So the first thing you want to do is have it high in a vertical upright position and just extend it a couple of times. That's actually already the start of the exercise. So there's a second thing you can incorporate. So this movement, you don't stretch it. If you feel a stretch here, you're too far. You stay in a range where it's comfortable. So you have these muscles contract. There's a term for it. I'm not sure about the term. But if these muscles are contracting, these have to release. So we're working with this reciprocal contraction something. I will put the term in the video. So that's the movement you do. You do this a couple of times, 10, 20 times. And this will start to hurt, and you can start to use the other leg. Do the same thing with the other leg. Is this awareness through movement? I don't know. You just extend the leg. So that's the first movement. Extend the leg. Then you can have another movement, like keep it extended and wait a little bit. Let the nervous system do its magic, do its work. This contracts, this needs to release. It's always agonist, antagonist working together. So we already have like 2 movements. One movement is the extension movement, and one movement is just holding it in position. Okay, now I'll show you a third movement. While you are extending it, you're tilting the pelvis forward. While you extend the knee, you tilt the pelvis forward. So you have this forward tilting movement. This is very clever because the hamstrings are originated the sits bone. So when I tilt the pelvis forward, the hamstrings become longer. But at the same time, I extend the knee. So the hamstrings need to be really long to accommodate these two movements. Extension, so I make the hamstring longer from this end, where it inserts into the tibia and fibula, and make it long from the other end, where it originates from the sits bone, where I tilt the pelvis forward. So you combine these two movements. It's always movement, it's never a static position. It's always about moving. I'm moving, you know? Moving, okay. And then we have then do this of course on the other leg. We don't want to have one leg long, the other short. So while I extend, I tilt the pelvis. This is not a stretching exercise. Everything is about movement. And when you hit, when you can't go any further, you just return. Okay, this is two movements, extending, tilting, and the third one is rotating your leg inwards. So it's three movements at the same time, extending, rotation, and tilting. So the rotation requires also the hamstring to become longer. Right? And you do the same thing on the other leg. So you can take more time for this. This gets already easier to sit on the floor like this. It's also connected to hamstrings, I guess. So you can take 2 minutes or 5 minutes or really meditate about it and do it very, very aware and spend like 15 minutes doing it. The longer you do it, it doesn't have a real effect. It's more about being clever. Do it 2 minutes a day or 10 minutes 3 times a week. You will figure it out. There's no scientific data for how often you have to do this kind of movements to have results. If you don't do it at all, you have no gains. If you do it too much, it doesn't give you any benefit either. Will I do 2 or 3 videos? Maybe I just append now the second one. So this is in sideline. You come to sideline. And then you're going to work with the upper leg. Try to reach your foot from the inside. If the left leg is the left arm, and start to extend the leg. Start to extend the left leg forwards. So now in sideline it's easy to flex the back. Right? It's easy to come into a flexion when you do this. So we do the same thing. You extend the knee and you tilt the pelvis forward. Extend the knee and tilt the pelvis forward. Extend the knee and tilt it. This is difficult, so you have to figure out how to do it. Tilt the pelvis forward, backward, forward, backward. Extend the knee while tilting the pelvis forward. And then the third movement, rotation of the leg. Rotate the leg inwards, extend the knee and tilt the pelvis forward. 3 things. Yeah. And then you do the same thing on the other side. I hope it's clear. So you have knee extension, knee extension, knee extension, knee extension, but you don't want to have a round back. So you extend the knee and tilt the pelvis forward. You extend the knee and tilt the pelvis forward. And then the third thing, extend the knee, tilt the pelvis forward, rotate the leg inwards, and come back. Extend the knee, tilt the pelvis forward, rotate the whole leg inwards. That's quite a challenge, isn't it? Okay, there was a second mini exercise. And the third one is in standing. I have to adjust the camera. So the third routine is in standing. You start with your feet far apart. It's not like this, it's really far apart. And then you grab your ankles, left hand, left ankle, right hand, right ankle. And for some people this will be already quite strenuous. So maybe you want to just get better in going down to this position. And this can be quite hard already to just hold this position. So you bring your butt behind, and then, so how does it work? How does it work? You come down like this, you stay here, and now we do the right leg first. You extend the right leg a couple of times. Just extend the right leg a couple of times. Just the way you do it, and then you take a break. Yeah. Take a short break, and then let's try it again. But this time, extend the right leg and come over your left leg. So you shift your weight to the left. You shift. So you extend the right leg by shifting your weight to the left. So you do this a couple of times. And then you take a short break. So the third movement. You come down to the starting position and you stay centered and extend your right leg. So this is different than shifting your weight to the left. You stay centered. You have to do something else with your pelvis. And you might feel your muscles clicking and moving. So that's good. Your hamstrings are moving in the back. You do this a couple of times. You can do it in the, maybe not in the shower, but in the bathroom, or just going before going into bed or coming out of bed. In the morning, your muscles will be more tight than in the evening, of course. So first, just extend the left leg a couple of times. We do it with left side. And take a short break. Do not shake your legs. Don't do this. Just take a short break in standing. So, okay, we continue with the left leg. Then bring your weight over to the right by extending your left leg and stay low. Just a couple of times. Then take a short break again. And the last movement is you stay centered and you extend your left leg. You stay centered, extend the left leg. So that's basically it. And then let's see about your progress. Just do it a couple of times per week or maybe every day. We'll see how ambitious you are and give me some feedback.